That's me, baby.
Hi, Mark Lund here, author of The Effective Investor. And today we're going to talk about a big misconception about investing. Now, many times people will meet with me and tell me that they're diversified because they have 10 or so different mutual funds or because they have more than one advisor. What they don't understand is a little problem called style drift or overlap. Now here you can see a picture of Alcatraz. I always loved the movie Escape from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood. When I had a conference to attend in San Francisco, I was excited because I was going to take an extra day to go see that famous prison. On my flight to San Francisco, if the pilot would have flown us to San Diego instead, without telling us, I would have been upset. In the investment industry, we would call this style drift. This is a common problem with actively managed mutual funds. Often we see with the managers of these types of mutual funds. They have changed the type of stocks they said they would buy, and they do this without you even knowing it. So here's a perfect example of this. I met with a man who had 10 different mutual funds with a popular actively managed mutual fund company. He thought he was diversified because all of his mutual funds had different names, such as large cap, small cap, and so on. When we looked up all the stocks he had in each of his mutual funds, we found that he owned Microsoft in each mutual fund. So he really had no diversification at all. This happens all the time, and people don't even know what's happening to them. If people understood that they have, or if they understood what they have, they could potentially reduce their risk by properly diversifying among many capital markets. Now, I'm sure you have heard the quote, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket." Well, that's the exact problem most people have. They're putting all their eggs in one basket and they don't even know it. They don't even realize that the majority of their holdings are correlated among the same capital markets. Now, the Financial Analyst Journal, they did a study on the key components of portfolio performance. This study showed that 91% of a portfolio's investment return is gained through the allocation of asset classes. In other words, almost all return is determined by how well diversified the portfolio was. It didn't matter so much what the actual stocks were, but what the relationship or correlation was of the stocks in the portfolio. Now, this study is also another example of how using speculative methods of investing like market timing do not add value to the return of a portfolio. Now, when an investor owns actively managed mutual funds in their portfolio or have multiple advisors, this does not mean they're effectively diversified. Actively managed mutual funds will tend to have similar holdings or stocks, or may hold stocks of the same capital market. When they do, this is called style drift. This is another reason why we never use actively managed mutual funds in our client portfolios. Well, that's it for today. Feel free to call me anytime if you have any questions about investing for retirement. Have a great day.